In the opening scene, we see Katie with her friends in a club bathroom. Her friends gush over the college boys on campus, but Kate takes the opportunity to tell them her nightmare high school crush. We're taken back to her high school days, where we see her with her best friend Hannah. They're in their senior year, and Hannah is worried about them not having boyfriends yet. Kate doesn't seem to be as concerned, as she's more interested in gossiping about the lives of everyone else around them. However, she stops in her tracks once she spots Jason Curtis, her biggest crush. Staring at him in awe, she starts fantasizing about him and imagining their life together. Hannah is still unaware, and Katie doesn't tell her about him. At the principal's office, they hand in their permission slips, and given that they're such bright pupils, the principal starts getting worried and hopes that they won't do anything crazy. Weirded out, Hannah assures her they generally don't like getting in trouble, but the principal reminds her that trouble finds those who run away from it. The teenagers continue to listen as the principal goes on about the weird rectal substances that they could be exposed to. Of course, they find it hard to believe that there are such things, but they haven't been proven wrong yet. Katie's desire and determination are about to turn into an obsession as she gets a notification during PE that Jason has liked one of her photos. Naturally, she freaks out while telling Hannah all about it, not noticing that the school queen Aria is eavesdropping on their conversation. As they excitedly walk out, Aria makes a plan on how to get rid of Katie, marking the beginning of Katie's fall. Delusion takes over, and Katie already starts fantasizing about being Jason's girlfriend. But when Hannah tells her about their classmate who she likes, Katie lets her know that he's worse than them, despite them being nobodies. Regardless, they go to class, and Hannah decides to drop the conversation. Taking the perfect chance, Aria gets closer to Katie during dodgeball, and even exchanges a couple of words with her. Katie can't believe that the most popular girl in school knows that she exists, but the cherry on top is when Aria invites her for a sleepover. Foolishly enough, she doesn't see through her intentions, so Katie ends up agreeing to come over, forgetting about her plans with Hannah. When asked what time she's coming over, she lets Hannah know about the sleepover and justifies herself by claiming that she has to have a good relationship with Jason's friends, so going to the sleepover will be a perfect chance to get to know Aria. Soon enough, we see Katie ringing the doorbell to her house. Upon entering, she is greeted by Aria herself, who tries hard to gain her trust. Fortunately for her, Katie thinks that she just wants to become her friend. While chilling in Aria's room, her friend Olivia accidentally likes one of the jocks' photos on social media, and she starts freaking out about it. As they mention social media likes, Kate doesn't even pay attention to Alicia's tantrum as she wonders why Jason liked her photo. Curious, she asks them indirectly, and they let her know that if Jason likes a girl's photo, she's practically pregnant with his baby from the moment he likes it. A bit dramatic, but teenagers, right? As if her delusions hadn't been enough, Kate starts believing that Jason is totally into her. Laying in bed being the only one awake, she makes it her mission to break tradition and do something impossible. Hook up with the guy everyone wants while being a nobody. She thinks about her desire the whole night, and she ends up falling asleep while stalking his profile. Of course, Aria wakes up in the middle of the night and the flashing screen catches her attention. Moving closer, she sees Jason and immediately becomes jealous. In the morning, she tricks Kate into admitting that she has a crush on him, but promises not to tell anyone. The day of the trip finally comes, and the girls seem to be ignoring Kate. Seeing Jason get onto the bus, she rushes after him, but the teacher lets her know that there are no more empty seats. Realizing that she can't do anything, she joins Hannah but isn't so keen on sitting next to Matt, the guy she likes. As they enter the bus, Kate notices that Aria is sitting alone, so she takes her chance by suggesting Hannah sit next to Matt. Having no choice, Aria agrees, but rolls her eyes several times. Kate is already anxious sitting next to Aria, but when she sees a text from Jason pop up on her screen, her blood starts to boil. Aria knows exactly what she's feeling, so she plays it off like she's not just as obsessed with Jason, if not more. Letting her know that he's annoying, she tells Kate about his motion sickness, which only makes her feel bad. The buses finally pull up to a gas station, so Kate wastes no time in getting some goodies for Jason. However, that isn't enough for her, so she peeks into the men's toilet just to see what Jason's working with. The whole bus is pissed off because she made them wait, but they get back at her by making fun of the fact that she stood outside the men's bathroom. Regardless, she spends the rest of the ride sucking up to Aria while pretending like she's not best friends with Hannah, and of course, stalking Jason's socials. They finally make it to the hotel, and naturally, Aria chooses to be with her friends. Karma catches up to Kate as she's left alone without a roommate. Not only that, she tries changing Hannah's mind by warning her that Matt will try to sleep with her. Being completely irrational, she makes Hannah aware of her fear of losing her, so she assures her that everything will be fine. Kate pretends that she's not upset, and in the end, the teacher puts her in a room with a girl she used to gossip with Hannah about. The poor girl seems to be too excited as she talks uncontrollably, but it gets worse once she sees that Kate is friends with Jason on social media. Somehow, Kate feeds off her delusion, and she starts believing that Jason's been in love with her since 6th grade. Her roommate becomes a bit too excited, so Kate decides to get some ice from the machine. Hearing a voice at the end of the hall, Kate stops to listen. She overhears Arya asking Jason's friend why he isn't texting her back after their hookup. Suddenly, Kate makes a noise out of her hiding spot, and Arya realizes that someone is listening in on their conversation. Rushing back to the room, Kate can't believe that Arya's already been with Jason, but her mood changes instantly as her weird roommate tells her about the pool party downstairs. Feeling confident, Kate gets ready to finally share a kiss with Jason. Not paying attention to anyone, even to Jason who she passes by, she goes straight to the pool and jumps in it. It doesn't take her long to realize that she's the only one in it, so she heads back to her room disappointed. However, like an angel from the sky, Jason comes to her. He assures her that it's okay that she missed the party, and even compliments her beauty before kissing her passionately for the first time. Feeling the butterflies in the stomach, Kate opens her eyes only to see that she's kissing Arya. Waking up screaming, Kate realizes that it was just a nightmare as her roommate screams back at her. Arya is already suspicious of Kate, so she makes sure to keep her under the radar in the morning. Dragging her to the diner, they sit down and glare at each other until both of them confess their obsession with Jason. The war continues as Kate wonders why she can never win in the presence of Arya. On their next stop, she decides to tell Jason everything, but Arya realizes what she's trying to do, so she distracts her with Olivia's boy problems. As they continue the ride in the evening, Arya decides to prove yet again that she's in control of everything. She tells Kate that Jason's bus is stopping to get some gas, so Kate tries to convince their driver to pull up to the same gas station. The bus driver refuses, so Kate decides to crash the bus foolishly enough, believing that she will see Jason. As the bus crashes, Arya lets her know that Jason's bus isn't stopping for gas. Kate doesn't think it's her fault, so she heads to find her friends. However, she overhears them gossiping about her. Upset, she goes to Hannah, and they talk about their childhood memories. Unfortunately, their bonding moment turns into an argument as Kate says some mean words to Hannah, in Arya's style. Hannah is aware that Kate is trying to be Arya, but the words hurt her, so she decides to cut ties with Kate immediately. All alone, Kate slides down and sobs quietly until the teacher comes to get her. Back on the bus, she sits next to the weird guy because nobody can stand her. Their trip to Cabo gets cancelled due to their behavior, so the teacher tells them that they will be spending their night at a motel. Kate doesn't have anyone to share a room with. Also, she's not taking chances with anyone she doesn't know, so she convinces the girls to stay with them despite being enemies. Finally, Kate gets a chance to speak to Jason as his friend invites them to a party in their room. Watching him from a distance, a smile grows on her face until she sees Arya with him. Arya manages to steal a kiss, but Jason pushes her off, not wanting to do anything with her. Feeling defeated, she runs out of the room screaming, and Kate can't help but smile. She is finally alone with Jason, and he mistakes her for Hannah. The reason being that he and his friends have always fantasized about hooking up with the both of them at the same time. His words throw her off, but she still seems to feel strongly about him. Regardless, she's still unsure, so he tries to kiss her to make her believe. Instead of a kiss, Kate gets a burp on her face. Hopeless, she turns around claiming to be cold. Promising to warm her up, he proceeds to lick her like a dog, giving her the ick. As bizarre as the evening had been, Kate ends her night on a good note by having an open and honest conversation with Arya about their lives. In the morning, she tries to speak with Hannah, but she refuses, rightfully so. Not only that, she sees the guy she risked everything for taking the rectal substance the principal had warned them about. As if she hasn't had enough, she is forced to sit next to Jason, who ends up throwing up on her due to his car sickness. Shocked and disgusted, she stands up and lets the teacher know that Jason is on. Everyone chimes in to defend Jason just because he's handsome, but luckily Kate doesn't give in. She argues louder than her classmates. Is the nightmare over, or has it just begun? Kate went on the trip with a real friend, hopes and opportunities, but returned alone and empty-handed. Regardless, she stays on good terms with Arya, and even rekindles her friendship with Hannah, finally realizing where she went wrong. But what's most interesting is that as we come back to the present, she lets her college besties know that James has become the guy she and Hannah always laughed about, and that looks are not everything. They don't seem to listen, but it's evident Kate is proud to have learned that lesson herself.